Welcome to Sleepy English Academy. This is the perfect place to learn English while you relax. Our stories are simple and easy to follow, helping you improve your English. Let's start your learning journey together. In the heart of a quiet village surrounded by thick forests and towering hills, there lived a young woman named Emily. Emily was known throughout the village for her curiosity and kindness. She had always been fascinated by the woods that bordered her home, often spending hours exploring its winding paths and hidden clearings. The villagers, however, were wary of the forest. They spoke of strange occurrences and whispered tales of a haunted cottage deep within the woods. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon and the sky turned a deep shade of purple, Emily decided to take one last walk before nightfall. The air was crisp, and the forest was bathed in the soft glow of twilight. As she ventured further, she noticed a path she had never seen before. The path was narrow, lined with tall, ancient trees whose branches seemed to reach out as if to stop her.
This path. I've never noticed it before. Where could it lead?
Her curiosity piqued. Emily decided to follow the path. The further she walked, the quieter the forest became. Even the usual sounds of birds and rustling leaves were absent. After what seemed like hours, Emily came upon an old, dilapidated cottage. The walls were covered in thick ivy, and the roof was partially caved in. The windows were dirty, obscuring the view inside.
This must be the haunted cottage the villagers talk about.
Despite the eerie atmosphere, Emily felt compelled to explore further. She cautiously approached the door, which hung loosely on its hinges. As she reached out to touch it, the door creaked open by itself. Inside, the cottage was dark and dusty. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and the furniture was covered in white sheets that looked as though they hadn't been disturbed in years. Suddenly, a soft voice broke the silence.
Who's there? Who has come to visit me?
Who are you? Show yourself.
From the shadows, a young man stepped forward. He was pale, with dark hair and deep, sorrowful eyes. His clothes were old-fashioned, like something from a time long past. He looked at Emily with a mixture of hope and sadness.
My name is William. I've been trapped here for many years, waiting for someone to come.
Trapped? How is that possible? What happened to you?
I was once a traveler, just passing through this village. I stopped here to rest, but I was caught in a terrible storm. I took shelter in this cottage, not knowing it was cursed. The curse trapped me here, unable to leave or to age. The villagers never speak of this place, and no one dares to enter the forest. I thought I would be alone forever.
Emily was both frightened and intrigued. She had heard stories of curses and haunted places, but she had never believed them to be true. Yet here was William, standing before her, living proof of the curse.
Is there any way to break the curse? How can I help you?
There is a way, but it won't be easy. The curse can only be broken by someone from the village, a person pure of heart and strong of will. You must venture to the heart of the forest, where an ancient oak tree stands. Beneath its roots lies a hidden box. Inside the box is a key. With that key, you can unlock the door to my freedom.
Emily felt a deep sense of compassion for William. Though she was afraid, she knew she had to help him. She couldn't leave him to suffer in this cursed place.
I'll do it. I'll find the oak tree and the key. I won't let you stay trapped here any longer.
With a renewed sense of purpose, Emily set off into the forest. The journey was more challenging than she had anticipated. The forest seemed alive, with shadows shifting and the wind howling through the trees. The path was winding and treacherous, and more than once, Emily stumbled over roots and rocks. Yet she pressed on, driven by the thought of freeing William. Hours passed, and the forest grew darker. The once familiar woods now felt alien and hostile. Emily began to doubt herself, questioning whether she was going in the right direction or if the oak tree even existed. But just as despair began to creep in, she saw it, the ancient oak tree, standing tall and proud in a small clearing. The tree was massive, its trunk wide enough that Emily couldn't wrap her arms around it. Its roots twisted and coiled like the fingers of an old hand. At the base of the tree, partially hidden by leaves and earth, was a small, weathered box. Emily knelt down and carefully unearthed it.
This must be it. The key must be inside.
With trembling hands, she opened the box. Inside, as William had said, was a golden key. It was simple yet beautiful, gleaming even in the dim light of the forest. As soon as she held it, the forest around her seemed to grow darker, as if the shadows were closing in on her. But Emily didn't hesitate. She quickly made her way back to the cottage, the key clutched tightly in her hand. The journey back was even more harrowing. The trees seemed to move, the path twisting and turning in ways that confused her. Strange noises echoed through the woods, and Emily could feel eyes watching her from the darkness. But she didn't stop. She knew that William was waiting for her, counting on her to free him. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, Emily emerged from the forest and saw the cottage. It looked even more decrepit than before, as if it had aged years in the time she had been gone. William was standing in the doorway, his expression hopeful but wary.
You found it. I can't believe you found it.
Yes, here it is. This key will set you free, won't it?
It will. But there's one more thing you must do. You have to unlock the door at the back of the cottage. It's the door that leads to my freedom and yours.
Emily followed William to the back of the cottage. There, hidden behind a tangle of vines, was a small wooden door. It looked ancient, with the wood cracked and weathered by time. The keyhole was rusted, but the key fit perfectly. With a deep breath, Emily inserted the key and turned it. The lock clicked, and the door slowly creaked open. As it did, a blinding light filled the room. Emily shielded her eyes, but she could feel the warmth and power of the light. When she opened her eyes, the cottage was gone. In its place was a beautiful meadow, filled with flowers and bathed in sunlight. The sky was clear, and the air was fresh. William was standing beside her, but he looked different. The sorrow and pain were gone from his eyes, replaced by a look of peace.
Thank you, Emily. You've done what no one else could. You've freed me from the curse.
But where will you go now?
I'm free to move on, to find peace at last. But I'll never forget what you've done for me. You've given me a second chance, and I'll always be grateful.
With those words, William began to fade away, his form becoming more and more transparent until he disappeared completely. The meadow remained, a testament to the breaking of the curse. Emily stood there for a long time, taking in the beauty of the place. She knew she had been a part of something extraordinary, something that would stay with her forever. When she finally returned to the villagers were amazed by her tale. They couldn't believe that the haunted cottage was gone and that the curse had been broken. Emily became a local legend, known as the girl who freed the mysterious stranger and brought peace to the village. Years passed, but Emily never forgot William or the adventure she had in the forest. She continued to explore, always with a sense of wonder and a belief that there were more mysteries out there, waiting to be uncovered. And so, dear listener, the next time you find yourself on an unexpected path, remember Emily and her courage. Sometimes, the most extraordinary adventures begin with a simple act of kindness and the willingness to help a stranger in need. Subscribe for more videos. Your support helps me create more content. Thanks for watching.